Tinnahinch ran out as follows: in goal Sean Crawford, to the back line Eamon McAvoy, Seamus Dooley and Ed Fitzgerald, half back line Philip Bennett, Richard McAvoy and Rory Conroy, middle of the field James Young and Declan Conroy, half forward line Barry McAvoy, Mark Rooney and Joe Conroy, and the full forward line William McAvoy, Darren Rooney and Joe Jones. Development college sports at underage level.
Let's see, I just want to check my level here.
Laois is the venue for the Laois Senior Hurling Final that sees Castletown seeking to win their third title in a row against newcomers Tinnahinch, who are looking to win the title at their first attempt. Castletown have won the title 4 times since taking the O'Keefe Cup for the first time in '95 and are appearing in their 6th final in 7 years. Tinnahinch were formed in the spring of this year when the intermediate teams Clonaslee and Rosenallis decided to amalgamate. The teams met for the first time only and once back in July of this year, when in a thriller they finished level at 12 points each. Vincent. Castletown will start as favourites with no fewer than 7 of this year's Laois Championship team in action. Goalkeeper John Lyons, full back Robert Delaney, centre back Paul Cuddy, number 7 John Sullivan, midfielder Cyril Cuddy, and attackers David Cuddy and Pat Phelan all played against Wexford in the Championship. Pat Phelan is his side's top scorer to date with a total of 5 goals and 13 points. Tinnahinch. Tinnahinch have 4 current county players in their lineup. Seamus Dooley at full back, Declan Conroy and James Young in the middle of the field, and Darren Rooney in attack. They'll also be hoping for big performances from Richard McAvoy at centre back and his brother Willie at corner forward, and Mark Rooney at full forward. James Young has been a prolific scorer all through the Championship with a total of a goal and 45 points. Pipe band having led the teams around the Moore Park, and both teams now in their huddles waiting for.
I would like to now call for a minute silence as a mark of respect and memory of those who lost their lives in the World Trade Center performing in New York. And also as a mark of respect to Mr. Paddy Brickley, who was chairman of Clonus League Club for 25 years, who died during the week.
A minute's silence as a mark of respect to the victims in New York and to Paddy Brickley, former chairman of the Clonus League GA Club. Looking at his watch and the game is on and they're changing already with Dave putting gun out to the centre of the field for the Castletown men. Chasing across to the side of the field is Joe Conroy, beaten for over here by Declan Keenan. Running onto it is Joe Dooley for Tinnahinch. And rolling on the run is Mark Roy, centre half forward. This could be a chance for Tinnahinch. He passes the ball forward inside to his brother Darren. Darren with a shot blocked by John Lyons on the goal line as he's tackled by Mark Rooney coming forward and the ball out for a 65. The game opening at a ferocious pace, just opening seconds of the game. Tinnahinch launching the first attack and the two Rooney brothers spearheading it in, Mark and Darren. The 65-metre free will be to Tinnahinch in the centre of the field. James Young, their captain, will take it. He has scored a massive total of a goal and 45 points in the championship so far. Top scorer for the Castletown men is the corner forward Patrick Failney has scored 5 goals and 13 points, a real goal poacher. But it's James Young with this 65-metre free, drives it in and drives it over the bar. That's just the start that Tinnahinch needed. The underdogs coming into the game, and James Young with that 65-metre free with only just a minute gone in the game, and the opening score for Tinnahinch. Looking at the flags with they're blowing from right to left, that's into the Abbeyleix end of O'Moore Park, and that means that Tinnahinch are playing with the breeze in the opening half. A long puck out coming from John Lyons, comes off the hand of Declan Conroy, taken by the wing half back for Castletown, Declan Keenan, across the far side. Chasing out to it is Seamus Dooley, the full back, really has been one of the players of the championship so far, and Seamus Dooley is fouled coming out, and the free out will be to Tinnahinch. Tinnahinch formed just in the spring of this year, amalgamation of Clonus League and Rosenallis, and certainly have done very, very well, reaching their first ever county final. Clonus League, well, they won the senior hurling title way back in 1975, beaten in 1976, and haven't appeared in the honours list since. James Young will take this one, win behind him from his own 45-metre line. It's a massive, massive, massive puck, dropping. It's all the way over the bar from James Young, from his own 45-metre line, and we can add that up after. That has to be one of the longest points ever scored in O'Moore Park, and Paddy Kirwan, of course, who was manager of the Castletown side, he scored a massive point against Laois in Croke Park way back in the middle 80s at the Pride Laois on that occasion. Well, that one was even farther. There's just 2 minutes gone in the game, and Tinnahinch lead by 2 points. A massive score from James Young. Declan Conroy wins the puck out in the centre of the field, drills it back inside. Robert Delaney, the full back for Castletown, is out to it. Fighting for it in there is Tom Payne. He's beaten for the ball. A chance here for Tinnahinch again, but it's cut across the far side. Chasing after it, Darren Rooney with the white helmet. Chip puts it back into Declan Conroy. Conroy turns and strikes the ball and strikes it over the bar. Oh, what a start for Tinnahinch. Declan Conroy from about 45 metres out. That was great play by Mark Rooney. 2.5 minutes gone in the game, and Tinnahinch lead by 3 points to no score. This is the start certainly underdogs need, and it really will test the champions Castletown, but it's early days yet. A goal could change all that. The puck out again. Castletown haven't had an attack as yet. It's taken by David Cuddy. This could be the first, but he's half blocked as he hits the ball down to his older brother Podge. Back there is Richie McAvoy. He runs into Paul Cuddy, into Pat Phelan, their top scorer. Phelan on the run, 14 metres out, still going forward on the end line. Kept it across, coming a chance here now. The shot, a goal! A goal for Brian Burns. What a start to the Laois Senior Hurling Championship final. Well, it was a marvellous move. David Cuddy started it down along the wing to Patrick Phelan. Phelan cut across. He saw young Brian Ferns coming inside. He was the Laois minor of this year. Delivered the ball to Ferns, and Ferns, making no mistake, cracking it to the back of the net, and the sides are level, and we've only 3.5 minutes gone in the game. A goal to 3 points. What a blistering start. It's all hurling. Mark Rooney breaks it down. It's taken by Joe Conroy for Tinnahinch. He shoots it, and that's the first wide of the game, going to the left and to the left and wide. Well, superb hurling. We were expecting a classic game here at O'Moore Park, and with only 4 minutes gone, we certainly have got classic hurling in the opening 4 minutes. 4 scores that will do justice to any game. 3 points for Tinnahinch. That goal for Castletown, the defending champions. It's a huge ball out from John Lyons across the far side of the field, taken by David Cuddy. He started a move that ended with a goal. This shot coming from Cyril Cuddy, a long one in. Big Cuddy's in there at full forward. The ball is broken down. It's taken by John Palmer, the midfielder. He's hooked as he tries to hit the ball. Out comes Seamus Dooley, and a massive clearance from the full back, way down the field, down past Darren Rooney, coming across and gathered Martin Phelan. The two Phelan brothers, either corner back, Martin and Tom. Little bit of pulling off the ball, but the outside it comes again to Paul Cuddy, the centre half back. Huge ball for him, down towards Podgy again. This time the ball running through to Patrick Phelan. Podge Cuddy running onto it. He wins the ball. Dooley tries to stop him. The ball is hand passed across, but Podge Cuddy was fouled by Seamus Dooley, and the free-in is to Castletown. It'll be about 30 metres out. David Cuddy, I'm sure, will take it. No, it's Patrick Phelan who is walking across to it. Great start to the game. Laois certainly needed a good hurling final, and so far, well, it is delivering. There's only 5 minutes gone in the game. A goal for the champions Castletown. 3 points for Tinnahinch. Little bit of a hold up. What are they waiting for? A new ball. It's hit back in towards Patrick Phelan, and Phelan will take it, and a chance to put Castletown in the lead for the first time. He looks for guidance from the sideline. Was he thinking of going from a goal from this distance, just outside the semicircle? Rises the ball, strikes it, and strikes it over the bar. Patrick Phelan, and Castletown lead for the first time. It's 5.5 minutes gone in the game. A great start. 1 goal and a point to 3 points. The scores hurling with the breeze are Tinnahinch in their first ever final. Sean Corcoran, the goalkeeper, a long one out past the centre of the field, up towards James Young. Young catches it, another great catch, and strikes it on the run, but strikes it to the left, but it took a little deflection to the umpire inside. Certainly a marvellous catch from James Young, turning and striking it first time, but just got a little touch and out for a 65-metre free. He has struck one over the bar already, has James Young. Pat Morden in there, linesman today, referee the county hurling semi-final, and standing right on the spot, the most experienced referee in Laois. He marks the spot for James Young. He'll place this one. What a strike earlier on from his own 45-metre line. But James Young standing over this one, taking all of the time in the world. Every point counts. He rises it, strikes it. This one hasn't the distance. It'll drop in around the square. Up going to hurl. John Lyons is on his knees, scoops it up off the ground and tips it outside to Paul Cuddy. Paul Cuddy with a long one down to Dick Joe Conroy. It went through his hands. It comes to John Palmer, the midfielder for Castletown. He strikes it on the run. A lovely little strike, but Seamus Dooley will be out to it first, way ahead of his marker. 4 Castletown men converge on him. A little bit of a tip forward. John Sullivan is in there, the wing halfback. He's hooked from behind. The ball coming to Richie McAvoy. He loses it. It goes to Brian Ferns. His shot taken on the far side by Rory Conroy. He's only 19 years of age. He kicks the ball, but it's cut away from by Mick Butler for the Castletown man. Seamus Dooley's back there, the full back. Hits it from his left-hand side. Up towards Darren Rooney. Rooney's beaten by Paul Cuddy this time. Two county men. Cuddy then one-handed along the ground to James Young. It's a massive strike from James Young. Is it over the bar? That's a superb goal. James Young from the centre of the field, striking it, and he's on fire today, and the sides are level again. A massive strike with only 7.5 minutes gone in the game. It's a tremendous game at the Moore Park in Portlaoise. The sides level. Castletown 1-1. Tinnahinch 4 points. Puck out again from John Lyons. His puck is high against the breeze. Drops in the middle of the field. Young had a hand up. Down to Mark Rooney. Heavy pulling by Mark Rooney in the centre of the field. He's pushed off the ball by Paul Cuddy. Paul Cuddy down with the ball in his hand, surrounded by Tinnahinch men. The ball hand pass back to David Cuddy. A short one to John Sullivan. He's blocked down by James Young and hit first time in the air. Back to David Cuddy. Cuddy's hooked all around. Tremendous hurling. The ball comes to Joe Conroy for Tinnahinch. Forward to Brother Beckham. The ball up then to Robert Delaney. Robert Delaney, the full back. He clears a huge one out. Dropping in the air. David Cuddy had his hand up. Taken by Declan Conroy. He can't control it. David Cuddy was threatening to pull as Declan Conroy was on the ground, and referee Anthony Stapleton is in to sort it out. Referee will throw in the ball. 8.5 minutes gone in this opening half. Tremendous 8.5 minutes of hurling. The ball taken by wing half-back Declan Keenan, and Declan Keenan wins a free, and Paul Cuddy will take it. Podgy Cuddy's out to it, hits it across the far side. Chasing after is Philip Bennett. Bennett one-handed along the ground. Barry McAvoy beaten for the ball. Coming out to it is Seamus Dooley. He scoops it along the ground, but only out as far as the midfielder Cyril Cuddy. Cyril Cuddy beaten for it. Tinnahinch fighting for their lives back there, but Castletown, the champions, trying to work it forward. Bottled up inside is Fionán Sullivan. Back covering him back there was the corner back in the Fitzgerald. The ball outside to John O'Sullivan, a chance of a score. He's blocked down with a brilliant dive from Fitzgerald. The ball inside, put back out again. It comes out to Rory Conroy. He rides it, he missed it. Back inside to Seamus Dooley, the full back. Dooley's certainly one of the top hurlers in Laois this year. His tackling is coming out. He gets his shot in, way out. But David Cuddy runs to it. He goes by James Young. David Cuddy with the strike. David Cuddy with the point. David Cuddy from about 50 metres out on the run, striking it over the bar, and Castletown lead again. 1 goal and 2 to 4 points. 10 minutes gone in this opening half. Superb hurling from both sides. Declan Conroy grabs it in the middle of the field. He hand passes it across for James Young. James Young has Barry McAvoy outside him. Gives it across to him. McAvoy turns and twists, gets his shot in from the left-hand side, all the way over the bar. Superb point from Barry McAvoy, combining the pass coming from James Young, but the point was exquisite from his left-hand side, about 60 metres out on the far side. Sides are level, 1 goal and 2 points to 5 points. Ball drops in the centre of the field again. Blocked down there by Richie McAvoy. Back covering his young Declan Keenan. Down to David Cuddy. Hand pass it to John O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan on the run. He hand passed the ball across to Brian Ferns, and Brian Ferns with a shot, and Brian Ferns with a point. He acknowledges the pass from John O'Sullivan, but John O'Sullivan took a heavy knock from Rory Conroy as he was delivering the ball. And referee Anthony Stapleton going across to have a look at John O'Sullivan. The puck out coming with just 12 minutes gone. David Cuddy, James Young fighting for the ball across to Barry McAvoy. Darren Rooney there to the wing half back, Philip Bennett for Tinnahinch. He's fouled about 55 metres out on that far side, the new stand side of the field. And the free will be to Tinnahinch, and a chance for James Young to equalise again. A point between the sides, 1-3 to 5 points. 12 minutes gone in the opening half of the Laois Senior Hurling Championship final. James Young rises it, strikes it, dropping all the way over the bar. 12 and a half minutes gone in the opening half. The sides are level again. 1 goal and 3 to 6 points, with James Young in superb shooting form today. John Lyons puck out, taken by David Cuddy. He took a little knock there from James Young as he was going forward, and the referee will call James Young across and the name into the book, telling him it was a little bit high, catching him across the wrist, said referee Anthony Stapleton, indicating just exactly what happened. First yellow card of the game for James Young. Back with play, and Patrick Phelan will take this free, about 60 metres out. Chance for Castletown to take the lead again. Phelan strikes it, dropping over the bar. 14 minutes gone in the opening half. Pat Phelan straight between the posts, and Castletown lead by a single point again, 1-4 to 6 points. Great catch back there by Martin Phelan. David Cuddy, hand pass it back for Paul Cuddy. Paul, uncontested, strikes it straight down along the field. Patrick Phelan breaks it down. Eamon McAvoy trying to close him down, and does well to get the ball out, but only as far as David Cuddy. David Cuddy, James Young tries to block him down, gets it inside the Porch Cuddy, but Seamus Dooley somehow caught it in his hand. That's superb play from Seamus Dooley, certainly one of the best full-backs in Ireland, and right throughout this year's hurling championship for Laois. And turning on the style for Tinnahinch again today. James Young will take the free. James Young with the free from deep in his own half. This one not as long as the one he pointed earlier on. It'll drop about 20 metres out. Darren Rooney is under, the ball broken out, but Darren Rooney had a hand up for the ball. The hand cut away by the hurl inside. The Castletown defender appealing, but Anthony Stapleton says, well, you can't do that. And the man who committed the foul way back 20 metres from his own goal was Fionán Sullivan, selected at full forward. James Young will take the free. Will he go for the goal? It looks like he will. He's standing back from the ball. He normally stands over it. James Young with this one, rises it, strikes it, crosses it through. A great save inside, and the ball blocked out for a 65. 16 minutes into this opening half, and James Young going for the goal from the 20-metre line, but his shot saved inside and blocked for a 65. "17 minutes gone. James Young with this free from the 65-metre line, strikes it, but strikes it to the left and wide. His first wide of the match from a free. James Young. Sub coming on for Castletown. Coming on is Seamus Lyons, and going off is John Palmer, limping off on the far side of the field. John Lyons is puck out. Dropping in the middle. Up goes James Young, grabs the ball over David Cuddy and strikes it on the run into an open space. The Tinnahinch man lost the hurl inside, but John Lyons is blocked down inside, and chance is there, chance of a goal, yes! The goal from Mark Laois! The long ball inside from James Young. William McAvoy had lost the hurl. John Lyons gathered it. It was blocked down by Mark Rooney. The ball looked to be heading out wide. Rooney went in chase after it, got the hurl to it and crashed it to the net. Back down the side of the field, the free is to Castletown. The free for Patrick Phelan, strikes it, curling in, just out for a 65, coming off a Tinnahinch defender in there, and out for a 65 for Castletown. 1 goal and 6 for Tinnahinch, 1 goal and 4 for Castletown. Peter free, 19 minutes into the opening half. David Cuddy rises it, strikes it, just inside the post in there. David Cuddy narrows it to a single point, 1-6 to 1-5. The umpire looked long and hard at it. With just a little over 19 minutes gone in this opening half. Tremendous final so far. Tinnahinch leading by a point. Joe Conroy strikes a high one in. Chasing it after is Joe Dooley. Out toward is Robert Delaney, the full back. Robert Delaney takes it. He blocked down as he strikes the ball, but gets a strike in. Fionán Sullivan back under it. He's tackled by Mark Rooney as he gathers the ball, and the free out will be to Castletown. Mark Rooney and Paul Cuddy changing pleasantries in there. Anthony Stapleton, the referee, in to keep things under control. John Lyons out to take this free. He'll have nightmares about that goal. That block down on him that yielded a goal a couple of minutes ago. 20 minutes gone in this first half. John Lyons is free, dropping deep in the other end of the field. Grabbed back there by James Young. He lost it, but Philip Bennett, his teammate, grabbed it and strikes a high one forward. In towards again Mark Rooney. Had it in his hand but lost it. The ball grabbed by Willie McAvoy. He turns around, he's hooked from behind. Bottled up by Castletown men. Hand pass it back to Joe Conroy. He cuts to the middle, Joe Conroy, and it's Joe Dooley inside him. Into Dooley. Only John Lyons stopping him. Comes off of John Lyons. Brave goalkeeping by John Lyons, the Laois goalkeeper. And away come Castletown to defence. Out to Paul Cuddy. One back by Declan Conroy. Conroy strikes it back in high, dropping it around the square. Joe Dooley's in there, but the ball goes to the left and wide. Tremendous save from John Lyons. Got his body to it in there as Joe Dooley was going for goal. Tinnahinch hurling with a strong breeze. It doesn't seem to make much difference at the moment. A couple of long range strikes from James Young, but on the field of play by lead by just a single point. Mick Butler going forward, tackled and fouled. Free to Castletown, a chance for David Cuddy to equalise, 65 metres out from that Tinnahinch goal. This would tie the teams up at 1-6 each. David Cuddy rises it, strikes it, looks like it might drop short. Danger here for Tinnahinch. Seamus Dooley has hand, a block inside by Sean Corcoran, still on the goal line. There is Eamon McAvoy, the Nixon coming out of the ball. He strikes on his left hand side. Goal chance there for Castletown. Declan Conroy misses the ball. Running onto it, Rory Conroy. He doesn't miss it. He strikes it out to the middle of the field. Darren Rooney surely pushed from behind. Joe Conroy beaten for the pull. Paul Cuddy wins it. Drills it back in the far side. Philip Bennett is back there. Mick Butler gets it along the ground. Fionán Sullivan running onto it, looking for the equaliser. Onto his right side. Strikes it in. Comes up the post. The chance is there for Castletown again. The ball tipped out by Nixon McAvoy. He protests his innocence, but the umpire with his arm up inside. A point between the teams. 23 minutes gone. David Cuddy strikes this one. Not too good. Broken down by Philip Bennett. Down to John Sullivan. He looking for the equaliser. Turning and twisting. Back to Mick Butler. Butler on the run. 20 metres out. Strikes the ball. The sides are level. Mick Butler. 1 goal and 6 points for Castletown. 1 goal and 6 points for Tinnahinch. "23 minutes into this opening half. Tremendous game of hurling. Darren Rooney pulls and misses it. Didn't miss one of the Castletown players. Seemed to catch him on the end. Darren Rooney's been called out, but it was harmless enough. Fionán Sullivan up on his feet. But a one-handed swing connecting with Fionán, and Fionán goes running way back down the field as Anthony Stapleton, the referee from Rathdowney, checks Darren Rooney's name and the number. And issues the second yellow card of the game. Paul Cuddy free. Down to Mick Butler. Philip Bennett tries to close him down. David Cuddy running onto it. Takes it under pressure. Lovely pass across the side of the field. To the wing half back Declan Keenan. Keenan goes for the score. That's a superb point from Declan Keenan. Castletown lead again. Declan Keenan, who only made his place his own in the last couple of games in the championship for Castletown, puts them into the lead. 1-7 to 1-6 the county champions lead, and growing stronger as the game progresses. The ball broken down by Seamus Dooley. Dooley, Pat Phelan behind him, hooks it from behind, knocks the ball away, and Phelan wins it and pass it forward. There is Rory Conroy. And Rory Conroy clears it up towards Mark Rooney. He has scored 6 goals in the championship so far. His brother Darren wins the ball. Darren threw the ball up, put it again to the referee. He penalises Darren Rooney. For Castletown, 1-6 for Tinnahinch. Rory Conroy, Declan Conroy, no relations. The ball down to Joe Conroy, a brother of Declan's. Hits the ball out in an open space. Does very well. To can't control it, tips it along the ground. The free will be to Castletown. Just 26 minutes gone in this opening half. Castletown 1-7, Tinnahinch 1-6. Across the far side is Philip Bennett, under pressure, gives it to Rory Conroy. He loses the ball under pressure. Fighting for it in there with a substitute, Seamus Lyons. Paul Cuddy fouling Seamus Dooley from behind, and the free out will be to Tinnahinch. Little over 3 minutes from half time. James Young with this free, rises it, strikes a massive puck, dropping in around the square all the way, tops off the goalkeeper, and there is Mark Rooney, finally get the ball in. Castletown desperately defending, the ball out and out to the left and wide. One 7 to 1 6.
97 LS 2357, remove immediately. 97 LS 2357, remove immediately. Going to be put away by the Academy.
James Young Forward for Darren Rooney, knocked away by Paul Cuddy, won by Cyril Cuddy. Cuddy strikes it on the run, down along the sideline, out over the sideline on the far side of the field. O'Moore Park in absolutely splendid condition for this county final today. Perfectly manicured all over the pitch, and both teams serving up a superb game of hurling. Placing the ball, James Young. 2 minutes exactly left in this opening half. That's of normal time. The ball cut off by Fionán Sullivan, out playing in the centre of the field. Declan Conroy in chase, trying to close him down. Fionán Sullivan still going forward, 45 metres out, strikes it on the run, dropping to the right and wide. He shakes his head as he comes back out, disappointed with that one. Little over a minute of normal time left in the opening half. Sean Corcoran's puck out with the breeze, drops 45 metres out the other end of the field, taken by Fionán O'Sullivan. He's tackled, tries to pass the ball away, taken by Darren Rooney. Rooney under pressure, can't get it up, hips it along the ground, in for Joe Dooley. Joe Dooley gathered it, blocked back there by Cyril Cuddy. Cyril Cuddy chasing out to the ball. Here's Fionán O'Sullivan outside of him. Fionán is locked down by Declan Conroy. Comes to Mark Rooney. He drills the ball back inside again. It'll drop short of John Lyons. Popped in his hand. Wasn't out over the end line. He takes it shakily, but tackled as he's coming out. But the umpire was right on the spot, deciding the ball hadn't crossed that end line, and John Lyons under pressure, but holding onto the ball eventually, and will take the free out from the edge of the small square. 29.5 minutes into the opening half. Fionán O'Sullivan. Richie McAvoy pulled and missed the ball. Fionán O'Sullivan is after it. James Young comes across to close him down. Tackles him, but Fionán O'Sullivan goes by him. Rory Conroy trying to close him. Fionán hits this one. It's to the right and wide again. 2 wides in succession for Fionán O'Sullivan. The last couple of seconds of this opening half of normal time. Anthony Stapleton calling the players out there too near the goalkeeper as he pucks it. Sean Corcoran's puck dropping just past centre of the field. Pulled on in the air by Joe Dooley, out over the sideline, the side of the field. The initiative back with Castletown. Declan Keenan with the sideline puck. Almost a minute into injury time. Referee Anthony Stapleton blows the half-time whistle after a tremendous half hour of hurling. Superb Laois County hurling final. At the end of it all, just a point separates the sides. Castletown the champions 1-7, Tinnahinch 1-6.
And the Carol, please, 97 minutes. 2-3-5-7.
Very good. Back in. Second half is on. And contrary to what we said before the half-time, the sides are level at 1-6 each. Now all of the press box had to score 1-7 to 1-6, but the referee says no. It's only 1-6 apiece, so we'll have to decide who didn't get the point. But Seamus Dooley penalised this time as he was coming out of the ball, and the free in is to Castletown, and very quickly now it'll be 1-7 and from where they left off. Patrick Phelan with the free to put Castletown ahead, strikes it in and strikes it over the bar. "45 seconds into the second half, and here comes 2 substitutions for Tinnahinch. And coming in is Declan Rooney, back from 2 years in Australia, coming straight in. In also is John Bates. Tinnahinch on the attack. Declan Conroy now with full forward. The ball cut across inside. John Bates, the substitute in, pulling first time along the ground. Paul Cuddy getting the ball and clearing it outside. Cyril Cuddy comes away with it. The ball cut off by Darren Rooney. Taken by Patrick Phelan. Phelan blocked down by Philip Bennett on the side of the field. Patrick Phelan still fighting for the ball, very near the sideline, just kept in play. Back there is Darren Rooney now holding at centre half back. Two minutes into the second half and the sides are Castletown just ahead 1 goal and 7 to 1 goal and 6. We thought at half time it was Castletown who were leading by 7 to 1, 6, but the referee changed the score, made the scoreboard man change it as well at 1-6 each. In the opening half it was Tinnahinch who got the opening 3 scores, from James Young getting the first 2 and then Declan Conroy. Pat Phelan pointed for Castletown. James Young made it 4-1. David Cuddy for Castletown. 4 points to 1 goal and 2. Barry McAvoy for Tinnahinch made him 5 points, but then Brian Ferns not through for the Castletown men. It was 1-3 to 5 points. James Young after 12.5 minutes for Tinnahinch level at 1-3 to 6 points. Patrick Phelan put Castletown ahead for 14 minutes, 1-4 to 6. Then came a goal for Tinnahinch when Mark Rooney got in. He blocked down John Lyons, the goalkeeper, followed the ball and got to the back of the net. David Cuddy from the 65-metre free, Mick Butler from Castletown for 23 minutes, and Declan Keelan in the 24th minute. We made it 1-7 to 1-6 at half time, but it was actually 1-6 apiece. A free taken inside by Patrick Phelan. Castletown just on the attack, but the ball taken by Darren Rooney. Patrick Phelan got the opening score in the second half, so with 3 minutes gone in the second half, it's Castletown 1-7, Tinnahinch 1-6. 3.5 minutes into the second half, and on the far side of the field it's James Young with this free. James Young rises it, strikes it against the breeze. It'll drop in around the square. Mark Rooney is in there trying to break the ball down. Richie McAvoy now playing at midfield, but now in the corner forward position. He's way in there as well. A long ball out along the far side, taken over there by Brian Ferns. He strikes it forward. Podgy Cuddy coming out to it is Nixon McAvoy, but the ball taken by Cuddy. Cuddy on the run, looking for the score. Strikes it from his left hand side, strikes it high and strikes it over the bar. That's a great score from Podgy Cuddy from play with 4.5 minutes gone in the second half. Castletown now leading by 2 points, 1 goal and 8 to 1 goal and 6. All to play for in this League Senior Hurling Championship final. John O'Sullivan grabs in the middle of the field. Darren Rooney tries to stop him. To Fionán O'Sullivan. Rory Conroy goes past him. Out comes Seamus Dooley. He was being hooked from behind. Tackled by Patrick Phelan. The ball running away to John O'Sullivan. Sullivan tackle all around. Fouled by 3 Tinnahinch players. He's rolling around on the ground as referee Anthony Stapleton comes across. The free will be to Castletown and a chance to go 3 points clear. Declan Rooney making a dramatic entrance onto the Tinnahinch side. 2 years in Australia. Flew in during the week, trained with Tinnahinch on Wednesday night, and now coming into the side. His 2 brothers already playing. John Bates, long serving player, also in as Patrick Phelan takes this free, rises it, strikes it, puts it over the bar. And the champions are 3 points clear, 1 goal and 9 to 1 goal and 6, with 5.5 minutes gone in the second half. 3 scores in a row for Castletown. In fact, it's 6 scores in a row for them, because Tinnahinch haven't scored in the 90th minute of the opening half. This time it's Brian Ferns. Ferns on the run, showing great skill, but he's blocked down by Seamus Dooley. Seemed to come off Dooley's head, out to Pat Phelan. Phelan strikes, puts it over the bar. And Castletown are in control. 3 points for Patrick Phelan in the second half. Their top scorer in the championship, and with less than 6 minutes gone in this second half, it's Castletown now going to a 4-point lead, 110 to 1-6. Showing their experience at the moment. Is there a response for Castletown? Declan Rooney hasn't got a ball as yet, didn't get it this time either. James Young does. Rooney looking for the pass ahead. The ball passes the poor one. Again, John O'Sullivan tackled and brought to the ground. Teacher in Clonaslee, in the heart of the Tinnahinch country, wins himself a free deep in the half-back line and goes chasing forward again. Now CC playing in attack. David Cuddy will take the free. Couple of metres inside his own 65-metre line. David Cuddy strikes it. This one looks good. Dropping to the left and wide. Declan Rooney wins his first ball and strikes it on the run in towards his brother Mark. Mark grabs it ahead of Robert Delaney and goes off on a solo run. Couple of Castletown players in chase. Rooney tackled all around, tries to kick the ball away near the end line. Tackled back there by John Bates and coming out of the ball. And Mark Rooney then pushes a couple of Castletown men out of the way. He'll be pulled out by the referee, severely spoken to, and at least a yellow card. James Young and Darren Rooney already on yellow cards. But Mark getting a little bit frustrated when the ball ran away from him. And Martin Phelan, the player, is down injured inside. Anthony Stapleton having a look at his number. It's number 11 on his back. And Anthony Stapleton telling Rooney, well, you just can't do that, shaking the head, wagging the finger at him. Mark said it's okay, it won't happen anymore, sir. And the yellow card, I'm sure, will be issued. Free out will be taken by John Lyons. 4 points between the sides. 1 goal in 10 to 1 goal in 6. Darren Rooney's under. Breaks the ball down to Declan Rooney. Now coming into the game. Getting the feel for it. Goes off on a solo run. Superb hurler. Strikes this one on the run. In towards Mark again. Mark has been held by Robert Delaney. The ball running away from him. Chasing and after Barry McAvoy. John Bates can't control it. Back there is Paul Cuddy. He can. He's blocked down brilliantly by Declan Rooney. Rooney now on the run. He's making his presence felt already. Going forward, he's dragged to the ground. He wins himself a free. And suddenly the springing of Declan Rooney from the sideline is paying dividends. 2 years in Australia doesn't seem to have affected his hurling ability or his skill as he goes forward. Winning 3 successive balls there. 110 to 1-6. James Young will take the free. 9 minutes into the second half. James Young over the ball, rises it, strikes it cleanly, puts it over the bar. There's 3 between the sides. Nine and a half minutes into the second half. (110 to 1-7). John Lyons with the breeze. Grabbed by Declan Conroy, came into the game with an injury but having a superb game so far. Down to John Bates, he's doing well since he come on also. Hand pass the ball forward to Mark Rooney. Rooney on the run, being dragged from behind as he's going forward. Pushes the 2 players out of his way. His huge strength carrying him forward as Declan, his brother, was fouled off the ball as well. And the free in again to Tinnahinch and a chance for James Young to narrow it to 2 points. Ten minutes gone in the second half. James Young with the free, 20 metres out, rises it, strikes it cleanly, puts it over the bar. There's 2 between the sides. (1-8 to 1-10). All to play for. As a huge puck out. Up along the far side, the ball picked out to David Cuddy, put off back there by Barry McAvoy, strikes it on his left hand side. Down to Paul Cuddy, 2 Castletown might collapse, collide and one of them collapses, and away comes Cyril Cuddy. Paul Cuddy's on the ground. Cyril block, wins the ball back. Tackle is going forward. Foul is going forward to the referee. And the free into Castletown. Declan Rooney asking referee Anthony Stapleton exactly what the free was for. He's telling him it's for a little bit of a slap down. Meanwhile out the field, Paul Cuddy felt the full force of his teammate Cyril Cuddy's challenge. The free for Castletown. Pat Phelan rises it, strikes it over the bar. His fourth point of the second half, Pat Phelan. "12 minutes gone. Hard pulling in the centre of the field. The ball hops up, pulled on by Declan Rooney. Doesn't go too far. Philip Bennett takes it on the run. The wing half back going forward. He hand passes it across for John Bates. Mark Rooney will get it. Mark Rooney 20 metres out. Goes by Robert Delaney. Still going forward. Delaney tips the ball away from him. In there is Richard McAvoy, but the ball taken by Paul Cuddy, the centre half back, elegant hurler, way up along the far side to Fionán or Sullivan. Fionán strikes the ball despite the attention of Declan Rooney. Long one up, back there covering was the corner back into Fitzgerald. The ball taken by Podgy Cuddy, strikes it inside to Seamus Lyon. Lyon's on the run, cut off by Seamus Dooley, and Seamus Dooley hand pass outside to Darren Rooney. Rooney takes it on the hurl, into the hand, down the wing. Barry McAvoy. This is superb hurling by both sides. Barry McAvoy strikes it way down along the sideline. Back after Tom Phelan and Willie McAvoy. Willie McAvoy goes sliding in. Phelan behind him. Willie McAvoy now tries to get it up. Has it in his hand. Onto his right hand side. Across the face of the goal. Paul Cuddy's over there. And Cuddy comes out. Strikes it along the ground. Up towards John O'Sullivan. He was being held. Philip Bennett runs onto it. Beaten by John O'Sullivan. Rory Conroy back after it. Out to it first. Seamus Lyons. He gives it to Brian Burns. Burns across to Pat Phelan. Phelan on the run. Being held and dragged by Eamon McAvoy and brought to the ground, and the free in is to Castletown. The game being played at a ferocious pace since the ball was first thrown in 43 minutes ago. Both sides giving it 100%. It's Castletown leading on the scoreboard, 111 to 1-8, 3 between the sides. The free taken, driven over the bar by David Cuddy. And now there's 4 between the sides. The shot coming but dropping way out to the right and wide. Just 15 minutes gone in the second half. Great catch by James Young. Gives it back to Darren Rooney. Rooney just took his eye off it and the ball running away from him. Chasing after it. Hits it along the ground. Down to Richie McAvoy. He can't control it. The ball runs away into an open space. Rory McAvoy, the wing half back, comes to it. Surrounded by Castletown men. The ball cut away by one of them, and it was Mick Butler up along the far side of the field. Back covering into Fitzgerald. He's blocked down. Seamus Dooley will come to it. Safe as a house is Seamus Dooley. Tackle is coming out with the ball on the hurl now. But over carrying the ball to the referee. Took it too many times, and Seamus Dooley is penalised. And these could be costly mistakes by the Tinnahinch defence. "16 minutes gone, free for Castletown. Patrick Phelan will take it, drills it in and puts it between the posts. 5 points for Patrick Phelan in the second half. Add to his 2 in the opening half. That's 7 in total. That's a great return in the county final so far. The ball across the side of the field. 5 points now between the sides. Kept in play by Mick Butler. Philip Bennett threw back the hurl as he was being tackled. Philip Bennett's been spoken to by referee Anthony Stapleton. Could become the 4th Tinnahinch man to get a yellow card. Reaching for the yellow. Philip Bennett, James Young, Mark Rooney, Declan Rooney, all in the referee's book, all in their last chance. David Cuddy with the free. Castletown now pulling away. They lead by 5 points. Could this be 6? It's dropping in. Seamus Dooley had it in his hand, kept it in play. Chasing across the far side, Rory McAvoy. McAvoy tackled by Patrick Phelan. Very, very good hurler is Patrick Phelan, apart from his scoring, dispossessing. Podge Cuddy with the ball, brought to the ground, hand passer back to Patrick Phelan. He strikes the ball from an impossible angle and strikes it to the right and wide. Puck out. Goes to Declan Conroy. He couldn't hold it. Very near the sideline on the far side of the field. Across there is Rory Conroy. Just pushed out by Podge Cuddy, and the sideline ball decision given to Tinnahinch. Tinnahinch just falling behind in this game. That has been played at a tremendous pace. 18 minutes gone. The ball down towards Declan Rooney. He couldn't control it. David Cuddy did. David Cuddy strikes it. Philip Bennett just goes by his hurl. Out to his Seamus Dooley. And then Nixon. McAvoy strikes it under pressure. A long ball down towards Willie McAvoy, but Tom Phelan is there, breaks the ball out. Barry McAvoy wins it for Tinnahinch. Hand pass it back to Willie McAvoy. McAvoy loses it, tries to scoop it up again, doesn't succeed. Martin Phelan does. Lovely hand pass back to David Cuddy. He strikes it under pressure. A long ball up. Seamus Dooley's back there. He grabs it and drives it back down the field again. Straight back to the man that struck it to him, David Cuddy. Hand pass for him for Cyril Cuddy on the run, over near the sideline. Cyril Cuddy up along the wing. Nixon McAvoy out to it first. Strikes on the ball, hurl ball and all. Cyril Cuddy under pressure. He hand passes it forward. The ball just kept in play, or is it kept in play? No. Linesman this side of the field, giving the decision to Castletown, to Tinnahinch in fact. And Nixon McAvoy standing ready to take it. 11 minutes left in the game. Rory McAvoy off the Tinnahinch side. Declan Rooney keeps it in play. Goes back to try and shield the ball. Kicks it back to Philip Bennett. Bennett under pressure. Strikes it on his right hand side under pressure, but straight out over the sideline. Sideline ball to Castletown. Cyril Cuddy will take it. Cyril Cuddy with the sideline, cuts it well. John O'Sullivan chasing out to it. Nixon McAvoy pulled and missed it. Fionán O'Sullivan pulled and didn't miss it. Turns it over. It's Brian Ferns in fact. Brian Ferns gathering the ball down the sideline, turned around, struck it between the posts. Great score from Brian Ferns. And now there's 6 between the sides. 1-14 to 1-8.
Could Lady please contact John McDonald?
And Brian Ferns was just being substituted as he struck that point. Across the far side, good day's work done, and the substitute is on. Paul Gorman is on. Castletown win back possession again. Hand passed across this side. To Fionán Sullivan this time. Struck low inside, a chance of a goal. The ball battled in and battled over the bar by Seamus Lyons. And now the gap is 7 points. Castletown win possession again. Under substitute Paul Gorman. Seamus Dooley out to it first. Dooley coming forward with the ball. Gives it to Darren Rooney. Rooney across the far side. First substitute Conor Bates. But the ball won back by Fionán O'Sullivan. Castletown bringing on more substitutes. Or not for the moment. David Cuddy will take this free. 1:15 to 1:8 now the gap. 7 between the sides. Could this be it as David Cuddy strikes it? He seems happy enough as he runs back out. David Cuddy with a long range free. And with 22.5 minutes gone, this game has certainly turned in Castletown's favour. 8 points now between the sides. 1:16 to 1:8. A game that promised so much for so long. Castletown winning everything, getting all of the breaks. Fionán O'Sullivan along the ground. Podge Cuddy fighting for it. Running out of Darren Rooney. The ball cut away from him. In possession, Seamus Lyons strikes the ball back inside. Goalkeeper Sean Corcoran is out to it. Corcoran under pressure. Under severe pressure, but hand passed the ball across to Nixon McAvoy. McAvoy, long ball down towards Barry McAvoy. He does well to grab it under pressure and goes off on a solo run. Tinnahinch needs scores, they need goals. The long ball took down this long side of the field. Down there was substitute Sean Flynn. But Flynn beaten for the ball. Back out to Darren Rooney. Darren Rooney strikes it back in again. Back in towards Sean Flynn again. But grabbed by David Cuddy back defending. To Cyril Cuddy, showing their class now at Castletown. The ball on down. Paul Gorman. Gorman's beaten by Eamon McAvoy. Long serving defender for Tinnahinch. Still coming away with the ball. Kicks it down into an open space. Tom Phelan's out to it. Takes it cleanly. Gets a little tap from Barry McAvoy as he's coming out. And the free out will be to Castletown. Mick Butler off the Castletown team. Coming in is Pat Mullaney. Meanwhile, the free will be to Castletown. 24 minutes gone. Castletown leading by 8 points in the Laois Senior Hurling Championship final. Going for their third title in a row. Who would bet against them at the moment? Sean Corcoran grabs this one inside. Hits it out for Eamon McAvoy. McAvoy being closed down by Pat Mullaney. The ball taken off him out over the end line. Puck out will be to Tinnahinch. Sean Corcoran now in a hurry. Referee tells him to slow down. Players aren't out far enough. Sean Corcoran. His shot dropping in the middle of the field. David Cuddy trying to win it. Hit along the ground by Cyril Cuddy. Down the line then to little James Hoban. Hoban on the run. Substitute in the game. Strikes the ball from his left hand side. The ball dropping to the left and wide. Long ball down. Tinnahinch need to score. Mark Rooney fighting for it inside. Sean Flynn is in there. Mark Rooney out trying to close down Tom Phelan. Martin Phelan comes away with it. Martin Phelan into a heavy tackle. Brought to the ground. Mark Rooney wins the ball back, but he can't get it up. And now Mark Rooney is dragged to the ground inside. Two Castletown men holding him down. He's already on a yellow card. And the referee is in. He's telling the referee, I got a belt on the back of the head. And a game that has been played at the highest of sportsmanship. One would like it to finish that way as well. Referee will throw in the ball. Players anxious to get on with it. 3.5 minutes left in the game. Declan Rooney was fighting for it. David Cuddy are fighting for it. Declan Rooney just throws Cuddy out of his way. Sean Finn is there. David Cuddy still there. Declan Rooney runs onto it. Down near the corner flag. Runs into a tackle. Throws around and strikes the ball back in. Doesn't go too far. Cleared out by a Castletown defender. Running onto it, Pat Mullaney. Mullaney does well. Strikes it back across the middle for Fionán or Sullivan to take on the run. Sullivan left the ball behind him. Philip Bennett is there. So also it's Barry McAvoy. McAvoy on the run and going forward. Kicks the ball, taken out of the game as he was going forward. There'll be a free from where the ball landed. That's 20 metres out. Temper's getting a little bit frayed now. But Castletown showing the discipline. They're leading by 8 points. They're on their way to their third league title unless a miracle happens. To take 3 goals to stop them at this stage. They lead by 8 points. Is the referee going to throw in the ball again? Has to be a free. Mark Rooney pushing the Castletown defender out of the way. Castletown lead by 8 points. They should stand back away from it. Let Tinnahinch take their free. There's no danger at this stage. With just 2 minutes left in the game. James Young has to go from goal. Mark Rooney pulling Paul Cuddy back out of the way. He doesn't like the attention being paid to him. James Young still trying to take the free. Time is ticking away on Tinnahinch. Paul Cuddy still shouting instructions in there. Players too near the ball. Referee telling them so. One would think this free was to win the game. It's far from it. James Young standing back. Players still pulling and dragging each other. Not showing much maturity as James Young rises the ball, strikes it. It's blocked inside and cleared off the line by David Cuddy. Back out to centre of the field again. Castletown come back on the counter-attack. Fionán O'Sullivan runs into a tackle but leaves it, goes by, brought to the ground. Tackle as he's going forward, over carries the ball. And the free to Tinnahinch. James Young will take it. He'll surely drop this one in around the square, hope for something. Ball into Declan Rooney, grabbed in there by Cyril Cuddy. Cuddy comes away with the ball. That's superb skill and speed. Great hurler, great club hurler, great county hurler is Cyril Cuddy. Podge Cuddy down the far end. He grabbed it somehow. Hand passes it across the to James Hooban. Hooban gathered it, strikes it high, strikes it over the bar. Great score for little James Hooban. .117 to 1-8 the score. 9 between the sides. Seamus Dooley can't control it. The ball to James Hooban. Hooban trying to make his way forward, but it's taken by Enda Fitzgerald and he clears a massive ball way out the field. Paul Cuddy under pressure, cut away by Mark Rooney. Back covering Robert Lee, pulls and misses it, gets it in the second attempt. Under Declan Keenan, long ball down towards James Hooban. Hooban gathers the ball and turns on the run in front of the post, strikes it from the left hand side. It's a delightful score from the little corner forward. His second in a row. What an impression in the senior final debut. That's great scoring by the little substitute. Into injury time. The ball back into Podge Cuddy again. He gives it to John O'Sullivan. Sullivan hand passes it forward. Castletown queuing up for it. Podge Cuddy with a chance for really seeing now. Across the Gorman. He dropped and missed it. Touch of a goal! A goal for Hooban. What a performance and what a finish. Something with it. The referee blows the full-time whistle. And Castletown are emphatic champions of Laois hurling, turning on the style in the second half. They were level at 1-6 each at half time, but in the second half it was all Castletown. Just 2 points from Tinnahinch. They flattered to deceive after a great first half performance, but Castletown showing their true form as champions and as worthy champions and as great champions, taking 3 titles in a row and joining teams like Portlaoise and Cameras who have done so and more in the past. 3 titles in a row for the men of Castletown. A final scoreline: Castletown 2 goals and 18 points, Tinnahinch 1 goal and 8.
I want to sincerely congratulate teams on the fine sporting game. I also want to thank our main sponsor for the Senior Hurling Championship, Blue Sources, for their kind and generous sponsorship over the last number of years. It is a great pleasure to congratulate Castletown on winning their first ever 3 in a row. I want to say this year hard to Tinnahinch, the first year in senior championship, and it was a great achievement to reach the county senior final. I wish them the best of luck and hope for that year again this time next year and have better luck on that day. So congratulations. I want to say that Castletown this time last year, this year, they're one of the better players teams for a league game in a long time. With the league forward, All-Ireland champions here at the Leinster Club Championship. And it's my wish on behalf of the county board that they score 1 record this year and win the Leinster Championship, if not the All-Ireland.
Back home again for a 3 in a row, but for the 5th time. We trained hard for this. People said we were gone. People said we'd never be back here. Are we hungry? Are we hungry or what? We want Bubble Keep more than anything else. Hurling is part of Castletown. We'll be part of Castletown for a long time to come. And it will take a good team to beat us. Best of luck to any team that tries it, but we're going to hold on to it for as long as we can. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Quarries, the Public Castletown, Canada Life for some of the t-shirts they gave us, and every single person in Castletown who I know have put their hands in their pockets over a number of years. It shows today the support we have. The flags around the village. We won the Castletown, but we also bought bad batches. Tinnahinch, what can I say? We knew they were going to be forced to be reckoned with. We saw that early in the year. They put it up to us, they hurled hard, they hurled fair. I'm sure they'll be back again next year, but we're going to be there to be in their way again. Best of luck to them and 3 cheers to them. Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! Hip hip! Hooray! There's a few people here today. There's a few people that aren't here today. We all know who they are. And Mike James, we did it for you, lads.
Come on, lads, everyone in.
Come on.
Come on, lads.
That's
Bring everyone back in so we take the shot about it. Right, kids, big cheer for everyone. Let's hear you. On again, come on again. Thank you.
James, when you have an order,
Well, Paul, congratulations.
Thanks very much, Jack.
Great second half performance.
It was indeed, but we knew we had it. It was like, this Castletown team has made of firm stuff. It's made of good stuff. We knew at half time, we were saying at half time, the win never won a game. We knew we had to hurl. Looking up to Bison on songs there with the freeze, put every one of them over. And just in the end, we opened up and we gave an exhibition, really, Well,
you faced your stiffest test because Tinnahinch are a good side.
They are a good side, a very strong hurl, very strong down the middle, but we knew that if we hurl to our capability and we hurl the way we can hurl, that'll take a very good team to beat us. And Tinnahinch are a very good team, very strong down the middle, some good hurlers. But county finals don't come handy in Laois, and we've been there a long time, and a bit of experience told them today.
Paddy Kerman said to me during the week that you were under a lot of pressure in Laois, that you were hurling free flow and hurling outside the county, and you shook off that pressure today, and it was free flowing hurling at the finish.
Yeah, I think there's a thing in the Castletown team that I think it's the fear of losing that makes us very nervous, and coming into a quarter final and semi final, I think we're always very nervous, very apprehensive, because we're afraid of losing. Really, losing is the big thing, and you were around for the last 10 years winning county finals, and you've seen the bad days. You don't want to lose, go back to the bad days again. We want to stay winning and stay on top of Laois hurling, and if we keep hurling it the way we're doing today, we'll be on top of Laois hurling for a long time to come.
Well, you've lost players who retired and lost players tragically, but you have young players who have knitted in and fitted in like they were seasoned veterans.
Yeah, lucky enough in Castletown we have 2 or 3 young lads coming on every year. Like, we don't believe in throwing in 5 or 6 young lads at the one time. We believe in bringing in 1 or 2 every year. And looking at Brian Fern started today, had a great game. James Hooven come on, Patrick Manny come on. There's plenty more young lads out there as well, and they're all wanting to get on the Castletown senior team, and it's a great way to have lads wanting to get on the senior team, and hopefully for a long time to come there will be 1 or 2 lads coming in every year.
Looking forward to another attack at the club championship.
Club championship, we think about that in 2 weeks' time. We'll go celebrate and have a good time tonight, and maybe next Saturday, next Sunday, we might talk about club championship.
Congratulations, Paul.
Thanks very much.
Well, Mick Peters, another successful championship. Great performance for your team today.
Great performance. I suppose wasn't expected to be as easy as it turned out. Like I said early on in the year that Tinnahinch were the dark horses, like, and I predicted that the whole time. Like, as it turned out, I suppose the day that we got dug in the first half against a very strong breeze, like, and definitely we knew we were in with a great shout at half time, and the lads just got down to business at half time and showed, like, we were being criticised left, right and centre the whole year, just set out a task to win the game, win it by hurling, by sportsmanship, and that's the only way that's going to be won.
Great disciplined hurling display.
Oh yeah, discipline, that's the name of the game. If you go with any other thing in your head, you'll win nothing. It's a great advertisement for the youth of our parish and the youth of the county. The discipline is number 1. If you haven't discipline, you have no game.
First half, you know, Tinnahinch came in as a good team and you were a strong team, and they contributed probably to as good a half hour of competitive hurling as we've seen for a long time in Laois.
Oh, certainly, like, they started off flying. I suppose one could say at the end of the year, like, probably James Young second pint from probably the best part of 100 yards was as good a pint as we've seen in Laois this year. And like, they set out a marker early in play. I suppose Brian Ferns got a chance, took a great goal. From there on, I think we were in the driving seat. And like, it looks bright for the future. We have plenty of young lads, and that's the game. You have to give the youth their chance.
What about young James Sullivan coming in there and scoring a goal and 2 points?
Well, I suppose they've been knocking around a long time now, and we have known for a long time that James, whether it was going to be this year or next year, whenever he'd make his appearance, it would be worthwhile.
And you must be proud of him, make a great bunch of lads.
Yeah, I suppose like 3 in a row, it was something like that when the teams of the past 20 years, the great teams of the Conrads, Portlaoise and all that, people said it would never happen again with 3 in a row. Oh, it's 3 in a row now. We're happy. We look forward to a Leinster Club Championship, and let every year look after itself, please, God.
Congratulations, Mick.
Thanks very much, Jack.
Well, Fionán, captain, fantastic, great team performance.
Delighted. Just everything went right for us, but it didn't go right without work, and we put hard work into it, and we were here today to do a job, and we did it. We fought hard. They fought hard against us, but we wanted this one. We wanted it so much, and we took it.
First half, you know, was so even. They were right there with you, level at half time. You know, did you think at half time you were going to be have a so convincing a victory in the second half?
Well, we knew we were there, and we knew if we hurled and stayed hurling, we'd win. And it was in our own hands. We put a battle, and it was a hard fought first half. The wind, very strong, but the wind's nothing for nobody. But we came out in the second half, got the couple of scores. We didn't think we'd win by whatever it says up on the scoreboard, but we knew if we got on top of them early, we'd stay going, stay hurling, and stay putting the ball over the bar. And we had a few little surprises that came in off the sideline, and they helped in the end of the day as well.
And there were little and there were surprises.
They weren't too simple. James Hooven, have to compliment him. Man, I'd say, was giving Paddy headaches because he was very near starting, I'd say. He has a great future, great skill, great pace. It's up to us, I suppose, to mind him because of the lack of height he has, but he has big heart, and he showed it there today.
16 years after the rural under 12 championship, Fionán.
Yeah, 16 years since I captained Castletown. I've been waiting a long time. Some honour. I can do nothing, only toss the coin. Try and do my best out there. Doesn't go as well for everybody every day, but it's a team performance, and scoreboard shows that we had a pure team effort there today. Everyone gave everything they had, from 1 to 25, the sideline supporters, everything. We were one unit coming over here today, and it was going to take some team to stop us.
Well, I suppose a week of celebrations anyway, but after that, look a little bit farther ahead, the Leinster Club Championship, it's there to be won.
Well, it's a big ambition for us. Paddy came on board early in the year, and he said to us that our aim should be high. First of all, we have to win a Laois County title. After that, we'll see what we can do and try and win a Leinster title, and that'll be our aim from here. We'll drink for a few days and try and get this man sober before we get back into training. I'm going on a week's holidays next Saturday, and I'll come back firing on all cylinders, and we'll give the Leinster Championship a good lash, if not the All-Ireland.
Well done, Fionán.
Thanks a million.
Well, Paddy, sum up that one for us. Oh, first of all, Paddy, your record was nearly broken there today. So James shot at James Young from whenever, 130 yards or whatever. Nearly equals your one from Crow Park.
With the win. Mine was again it.
Lovely. And yours is 150 yards. Sum up that team performance. Great stuff.
Brilliant, yeah. Said to him last night, we played a couple of practice matches out of the county and they've been brilliant. I asked him last night to bring that into Portlaoise today, and they did.
Yeah, you were telling me last week they were under a bit of pressure within the county and they were free flowing outside it, and this was the day they turned it on.
Yeah, like, you know, we hurled the Loughlin's in Kilkenny, we scored 119, we hurled Sarsfield, we scored 317, we hurled Borsallee, we scored 320 or something, and today we brought it into Laois.
How does you've been involved with a lot of club teams and in Offaly and other places as well. How does this Castletown bunch square up to the rest of them?
I tell you, they kind of frightened me when I came on board at first. Their will to win is fanatical. And, you know, you go into some clubs and you're trying to get them organised and this, that and other. It was the opposite with these boys. Like motivation. How they're nearly motivating me. But, you know, they take their hurling fierce serious. It's a religion out there, and that's it, you know. And they're as good a bunch of lads as I have seen around, and I'm around a while.
And to take it that serious, they deserve success.
Oh, without a doubt. Like, you know, I'd be listening to people saying, like, you know, I wonder have they the hunger, and paper saying have the, you know, they mightn't have the hunger for this. I said to them last night, they're only coming into their prime. You know, the majority of them, John Sullivan is 31. After that, 28 is the next. You know, them lads are only beginning.
Tinnahinch, like they really got the start. Underdogs needed. They took the game to Castletown. They were their level at half time. Great first half from a neutral. It was a superb first half of hurling. Great. You know, you knew you had to do it.
Yeah, like they started off 3 great points, but you know, I said to Brian Ferns last night, I want you moving around the whole forward line, use his pace, and fair play to him. When the ball was crossed across from the corner there, he was in, he grabbed it, stuck it up in the net, and that settled us. You know, from there on, I could never see us losing.
I'm sure you'll get free bread and breakfast now for a few days in Castletown.
That's for certain. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks very much.